Welcome, family. Welcome, family. I know it's been a long time. Some of you guys has been catching me on our radio show on Saturday mornings at 11, from 11 to 12, WERE 1490 AM. Or you can stream it at www.newstalkcleveland.com, or you can catch it on the journey here with me, Hamptonio, on Vince Robinson's first Facebook page. I had to come to you guys because, man, I just hope the Creator bless me with the ability to leave here. And I'm talking about leave here, is leave this country because I'm frightened by the people. I mean, because it seems like just logical thinking and critical thought has just went out the window. And I wouldn't say just went out the window. It's been out the window for a long time, but it's just getting more crazy and crazier. And the things that I see that I look at as being logical, it seems to escape folks, you know. And sometimes people say people think the grass is green on the other side. Well, I'm gonna check and see if it is, green on the other side because I think I'm kind of fed up with the system here because, the powers that be is real comfortable. It's real comfortable with what's going on here because they can just do anything and show you stuff right in your face, and people just close their eyes and just like don't believe my lying eyes and just let the media and people tell them anything. So that's why it's scary. It's very scary what's going on right now. That's why we need to be paying attention because I can't believe some of the logic and the lack of critical thinking that a lot of us lack at this particular time. It's just amazing to me. So I wrote down a few notes, and I'm gonna try not to be too long-winded on this if I can. But I've been wanting to come and talk to you guys for a long time about some of the things I'm about to say. First, let's say this right off the bat. America is going to be America. You know, I'm going into politics. So, regardless of who is the president, the direction that this country is going to take due to the policymakers and the people who make up this country is going to happen regardless if it's Republican rule or Democrat. Let's say that. And the repercussions and the bad karma that's going to affect this country, it's going to affect this country because you can't do all the evil and the dirt that has been done and don't think you never have to pay for it. If you believe that, then throw the Bible and any other prophetic writings and books that you have read, just throw them out the window. Then just go out there and do whatever you want because there's no repercussions for it. But if you think there's some repercussions, some of you Bible scholars, what they say, you know, um, some of your sins can fall on the generations to come and things like that. So if you believe that, then you know you can't. America cannot do what it has done to people and get away with it. That's why you having. I personally feel that's why you're having some of the problems that we have. Nobody stay on top forever. So in saying that, America is going to do what it's going to do, regardless of who's in the office. Okay, Democrats or Republicans. Let's get that out. So I'm getting that out to let you know that when you pretty much sum up my position behind this, you know, I I understand the bigger scheme of things, or where we at and where I'm living at. So I'm not in love with either one of the situations. Like I was speaking to someone on my job that we had a little difference of opinion about the political climate of what's going on right now. And he said we had a choice between good and evil. I said no, we got a choice between evil and eviler. That's the choice we got between evil and eviler. Which one you want? You know, you want a slow road to hell or a fast road to hell? That's how I look at it. And staying here and consuming yourself with the and assimilating yourself with the conditions and the system that is going on right now. Okay. Now, this whole thing that black folks always find themselves in position with, because Yeah, and on the tail end and on the bottom of the totem pole, because there's no cultural unity. There's a lot of reasons why there's no cultural unity, because the man spent a lot of money, time, and effort, and 400 years plus in making it the situation the way it is right now. So a lot of time, even when with slavery, what did they put after that? They had peonage laws, you know, that still kept you in bondage and in slavery, and thrown after slavery, they threw you in the coal mines and worked you to death. It was no need to keep you alive then. They just go get another Negro and to take your place. So they worked you to death on the chain gangs and things like that, which is still going on right now. I just heard some sad news on MSNBC. They talk about look up the punishment clause, in which how many states have the punishment clause to where it's the limitations of what you can do to an inmate, you know. But you got these corporations that are quietly making big dollars off of those guys, paying them 10 cents an hour, and if you get a promotion, give them 40 cents an hour. And if they don't work, they'll lock them up and put them in solitary confinement. Did you know that? Crazy. That's slavery. That's just another version of slavery. They don't switch the game up. But most of us watching the Super Bowl and the games and all that little stuff and don't know what's going on. I just don't know how they treat me. So you got about 30 states that feel that they can still do anything to an inmate. Okay, if you're gonna work, if this is all about rehabilitation and making somebody pay for their crime, and you got them working for you and you forcing them to work for you, okay. Well, how about you know certain ones when they because you got to train them to do whatever it is you want them to do. How about getting them a job when they come out? I think that'd be a great rehabilitation where they can take care of themselves and maybe move themselves from an area that caused them to, the get off track. Because most of them have an issue. They're talking about a job, just like the gang folks or drug folks. It's all about jobs, making money, being able to take care of themselves. How about hiring them? How about putting that in the clause? But I guess that's too moral. That's too right to think about something like that. You see, after 400 years, still treating you like a slave, and we just love it. We just so complacent. Here's this. This is what I'm talking about. This I'm talking to black folks now. You're so complacent, so comfortable. Now look at this Biden versus Trump thing. You wanna, like I say, yeah, it might be the lesser two evils at this particular point. Because black folks ain't engaged into this whole political arena in the first place. Like Dr. Claude Anderson say, hey, develop some cultural unity, and then you can force people's hands to do what you want them to do. Can you say control the economics, the politics, the security, and the necessary institutions that makes up a community? If you can control them through your dollars, then you won't be having a lot of the issues that you talk about, and they just the total blatant disrespect. Look at the disrespect we get, man. And folks just come up and set up in our communities, and we don't make them pay a dime towards some of the issues that are going on. They just stand in front of these stores and do anything they want, and they allow that. Some say some of those folks who own these businesses is a part of the whole criminality that is going on the block. Treat you any kind of way, you know, that's ludicrous, straight ludicrous, and we still give them our dollars. We don't ask them to do anything, to help the cause or make them put some money up and money aside. But like I say, that I said that's our fault as men that allow that. Because anywhere you go, you got to pay the house man. I don't know no other group that would allow that to happen. Okay, so this Biden and Trump thing, I mean, you got the smoking gun there. As far as him and his guilty of 91 charges or counts against him. You got the smoking guns, and we still debating this. That's why I say this is crazy here and it's ludicrous here. This is crazy. No critical thinking. You got people just sucking it up. Where's your moral compass? It's going out the window. That's why the powers of be is so comfortable. So comfortable. Put the stuff right in your face and we still wouldn't get it. on his taxes. They got the tax documents showing he forging the stuff and changing numbers around, claiming this and claiming that. You got the documents in your hand. That's a smoking gun. The documents that he had down in Florida. They were subpoenaing in him for over a year to bring those documents back. You caught him with the documents. I heard an article, he was showing the documents to some foreigners and stuff like that. And you still got people that ain't mad about that. They ain't mad about that. They don't care because he's their man, regardless of what he do. You know, the documents is right there. And then y'all, you got people that sit around and say, well, he can do this. Go along with that stupid explanation. He can do this. He's a president. He can do this for the wave his hand. If that was the case, then why was they subpoenaing him to bring the documents back? They are part of the archives. They don't belong to him. Okay? And you got channels that you have to go through in order to get even obtain those documents, even the president. But we so ignorant, and so people are so ignorant and so just gullible and listening to Fox all the time about some old crazy stuff, and they got that talking point and give you the misinformation and not the whole information. And because of their positions and their prejudices and everything else, they go along with it, not knowing what they talk about. Just like you had people, this is how crazy, just like you had when Obama was running. Because it had the healthcare had Obama's name attached to it. Going on there asking some of these nuts, about the healthcare plan, and they say I don't want the Obamacare, but I like I'm okay with the Affordable Care Act. That's the same thing. You see, just cause they just want to be disagreeable and hate towards something. That's what I'm talking about. The type of idiocy. I'm like, man, I got to get out of here, man. These folks are crazy. Let's go on. The phone call in Atlanta. You got him on the doggone phone interfering with the election. That's against the law, y'all. What more do you need? That's against the law. And it's just Atlanta. Atlanta is the one that actually got it on recording that released it. About 3 or so more other swing states that he made other calls to. Okay, you got the evidence right there. I wrote down a few notes inciting the riot. Y'all seen it for your own self. You heard it for your own self. What more do you need? It's right there, and you still got people defending that. It's roundabout way. Well, I don't know if Pence gonna do the right thing, y'all. That's exciting. No, riot. They knew weeks ahead of time. We're gonna have a great time, and it's gonna be a time in Washington D.C. You're getting them already. Come on, what more do you want? The smoking gun is right there, and people just got blinders on their eyes. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's dangerous for these type of folks that see stuff like that and still gullible for the rhetoric and their morals as well. That's dangerous. I don't want to be around that. That's dangerous, and you can't talk with them. You can't debate with them. You can't even, hey man, what about this? Let's look at that. They ain't trying to hear it. Dangerous, and it just the man's morals. It's all this, the bribing and stuff that he's been doing. In the past. I'm just talking about the man as a person. Crooked foundations never paid. If that was Obama, come on, he'd be still running. They would put him out the seat and sent him back to Africa. If that was him. They got Obama's wife because she's wearing bare arms, because he wore the wrong color suit, because he was sitting in the church of Jeremiah Wright. And because Jeremiah said something, they was trying to jump on it because his middle name, all this stuff. Trump had 3 or so sex allegations against him. Look it up. 14 years, I believe. quietly settled out of court. On tape, talk about how to treat women if you touch their stains and things of that nature. Oh, locker room. Look at Dick Smith's locker room talk. That's all. That's all. What if that was Obama? What was that was Obama, y'all? What would they do? What would they say? And here's one thing I want to point out right now. When they always try to talk about comparing presidents, you can't compare Obama to no president in this United States. You know, with anything, when the first person is a black man doing in any position, he catch HELL. You have Mitch McConnell and them just purposefully saying that they ain't gonna cooperate, even if it's something that he's coming with that they like. That's how they was rolling. Obama was trying to reach his hand across the aisle. He said, "These are policies that you guys usually like. Why not? Because you black dude, you the first here, and we ain't trying to make you outdo all those 43 white ones." That's why. So you can't compare Obama to any other white president. Oh, well, his ability to reach across the aisle, how did he rank as a president? This, that. Now, you can't compare him to nobody else. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Stupid, idiot stuff. And black folks can't see through this little crazy stuff. I'm like, man, what's wrong with y'all? You know what I think it is? I think it's the fluoride. I think it's the fluoride. Y'all might be laughing on it. I think it's the fluoride or something. Something in the water. You know, there's people, you can call it conspiracy theory as you want, that talks about the fluoride was used in Nazi German prison camps. They say, look it up, do your own research. But I ran across it to make the prisoners docile. There's countries and there's some states in America that bans fluoride in the water. You do your own research on that. But you got the phone call, you got the site right, phony foundations, all kind of stuff. You got these idiots in here for his Charles and his legal issues that's going on. They sending him money, and he just stacking dollars. This I let you know how deep this is, how critical this is. And then when you talk about the riot and the Capitol thing going on, how long did he just sit there and watch it happen? 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. If it ain't 5, it's close to. Come on, people. What is that telling you? And you got people here still is okay with that. All right? You got people who's okay with that. That's an insurrection. And even with Colorado and Maine, it's right there in the books, written in plain English. You ain't even got to be convicted. Anyone participated in an insurrection, you can't be on the ballot. It's plain and simple. And you got these judges pitting around with it. And, well, maybe, this, that, and other. That's why I say it's crazy. That's why I say it's crazy. It's right there in your face. It's in their Constitution. Simple. But they're still going around the block and hemming and hawing about it and all this. Okay, that's why I say, got to get out of here. These folks is dangerous, really dangerous. Yeah, and we ain't even talk. They ain't even brought up in the case when we talking about the January 6th piece. You remember how people was touring around the Capitol? That was off limits a day or two before the insurrection. Just somebody quietly was taking them around and showing them where Pelosi's office is and all that. Some of the panic. This was. I wonder why this is. Some of the panic buttons were yanked out in some of the offices. Did y'all know that? I know you probably heard it, but ain't nobody talking about that. See, this kind of stuff driving me crazy. I mean, like, what is going on here? This stuff is actually crazy. And then people want to think that everybody just jumping on the Democrats, just jumping on Trump and this, that, and other. Man, all the people who testified and went up against Trump are Republicans. They're not Democrats. Go check it. The Republicans. If they was all Democrats, you might have a little bit of an argument. Even if it is true, you could just say, well. But these are Republicans, y'all. Come on, man. It's a mental illness stuff going on. And I got to get back on my black brothers now. God, hopefully things are sure up when it's time for the election. You actually see what it is. I read an article about Snoop Dogg saying I got different opinion of Trump. And yeah, you might have to, hear some people talk about who made a little money off the tax stuff. Yeah, well, okay, you got some trickle down effect. You in a different league than most of us, Mr. Dog. Yeah, you might have made a little money, and that's okay. So I'm okay. Forget about everybody else. What does Martin and all the rest of the folks who liberated us for you to be able to do what you want to do thought just about themselves? What about that? What if they just thought about themselves and not the collective? I'm doing okay, so I ain't gonna care nothing about it. That's what the man wants you to think. Just like that. Just like that. Just caring about yourself. Forget about the man's morals. See, I'm gonna follow anybody. The man got to have morals for me, some kind of class. And of course, yeah, a lot of them don't have a class, and they don't show you what's going up right up front. Yeah, but don't be in my face with the shenanigans. We still okay with that. Man, ain't no morals. Don't pay nobody off. Look how many times the man's been sued. Again, if that was Obama, what would you say about his integrity? What do you say about the people who went to jail around him? What they say in the law enforcement business, you hanging around with folks like that, they gonna lump you right into that same category. You know, crazy. And the hypocrisy, man. The hypocrisy is just off the doggone chain. You know, do you remember, when Obama wanted to, I think the person died, one of the Supreme Court justices died, and he had the opportunity in his last 11 months to appoint a Supreme Court judge. What did the Republicans and them hoop and holler about? Let the new incoming president choose the judge. Remember? Remember they hoop and holler about that? That's not fair. That ain't right. And what did they do? Put in 2, 3 of them. One of them weeks before the election. And nobody saying nothing. Black folks walking around, white folks walking around like everything is all right. Don't that just spoil your credibility? See, that's why I'm tripping. I'm like, what's wrong with these people out here? They don't see that. Don't that show something about your credibility, who you are? You see, they talking with a forked tongue and just make rules up as they go. Right in your face. Democrats could be doing it too, but I'm saying right in your face. That's what I say, man. It's driving me crazy. Then you see this. It's a witch hunt all about this Hunter Biden stuff. Who cares? Do they talk about the Trump's son or son-in-law? You got old $1 billion from Arabia as a gift, or as some hobnobbing who type of stuff. Is there any talk about that? Do you hear a lot about that? I mean, come on, people. God, dog. That's what I said. Gotta go. Gotta go, man. Because this, it must be like the course of the cycle of things. It must be the fall coming. The fall of the country. It's inevitable. Because cycles, things go up, things go down. You had your time for the king on the mountain, and it's now it's due. So your logic is all out the window. So we get somebody who's come right on and say he want to be a dictator, say he gonna be revengeful to people. Oh, say I want to stay in office. Oh, right there in your face. Right there in your face. And you got folks still sucking it all up. Wow. It's amazing to me, man. It's amazing, man. And black folks, oh yeah, Trump. You guys try to pride yourself for not being played, right? Black folks don't like to be played. But you being played. He playing both ends. He playing the white card and the black card. When he over here, he talk all the pro-black stuff. When over here, talk all. I know everybody do that, but come on, bro. He sit up here, got the militia right in his back pocket. Stand by and stand back. Hollering at him, cheering him on, saying the cold words that he say to for them to understand what he got their back. But you got some niggeros out here talking about that's their man. What you think is gonna happen if he get back in and what he's gonna do? What you think he gonna do as far as the police is concerned? Let him go wild on your behind. You gonna have folks that ain't got markings on there, snatching up folks and everything gonna think else. Boy, I kind of wish you get what you want, what you asking for, because that's what you're going to see. You're going to see all those type of stuff. That's what they talk about. That's why he can do anything, and they still gonna follow because he is their man. He is the man that's gonna maintain or take back over control of this country. Because you got some folks are tired of these blacks want all these rights, these gays are wanting all these rights, these blacks with their power deciding elections and want more rights and power and all that. They're tired of that. What you think Make America Great Again is all about? When you got that Nikki Haley chick talking about when was the racism? We come on, man. Did you see what you're dealing with? Okay. Come on, man. I don't know, and we cool with that. And more and more things are the rollback of the civil rights and all of that. And we on the bottom of it all the time. We're gonna get the brunt of it. And you got some black folks that have been talking about Trump. Yeah, it is I hate to say it, and we said it last time. Yeah, it is the lesser of two evils. As far as Biden is concerned, Biden have forgot more political savviness than Trump even know. He forgot more. Because all he do is get on there. It was marvelous. It was this. He ain't talked to you and said anything to you about a good policy, about anything. All he uses adjectives. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. It's the best you're gonna ever see. And you crazy folks just go to. He ain't said nothing. He ain't explained nothing to you or you understand anything. I'm gonna have the best one. Everything is the best. Everything is the best. Everything is the greatest. You guys are good for that. Gotta go, man. I can't deal with that. This kind of insaneness. Crazy. And don't know nothing, don't know nothing about foreign policy. See, that's what these white patriots is all about. See, he tokes them with all these little buzzwords. Make America great. We're not gonna take nothing from nobody. We bullies. We gonna China, watch out. We coming for you. Oh, come on, man. Get on out of here. China own half of this place. They're all in bed. They got space stations together. They share information with labs and technology and everything else. Come on. All the corporations we got off in China and all, it's all a big game. It's all for global world domination, man. That's all this is. It may be just China's time to rule now. America take a back seat. Come on. That's what we get for not reading, not studying, paying too much attention to the football game, basketball game, and all the rest of that stuff. That's why we can't come up with good critical analysis on something and make a good decision, or at least see what's going on down the road a little bit. It's crazy. Playing both sides. And a lot of these black folks falling for that, man. You should be able to see that. He come over here and talk this stuff for you right on, black, bro, please. I almost can understand what Biden said that if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. Because he can't see it within himself. Like, well, what all this man did and what he's about, and y'all gonna roll for that? Okay, this is what black folks need to do. If you're worried about the Democrats and the Republicans, get your behind together. Where your leaders at? Get them together on one accord to write down something like what Ice Cube was talking about. At least he had some ideas. Try to put some demands in front of the folks and so you can vote in a block that's for the betterment of you. Let me tell you something about this country. After all the stuff that black folks has been through in this country, for 400 plus years, separated families, cut babies out of the womb, castrated men, molested the women, the children, and the boys. Look up the devil punch bowl, dug a hole and just put the women and children in there. Burnt down cities and took all the land back from them. Denied them access to property and land. Redlined you, steering, discriminated you against you in all kind of arenas, in the corporate world and in the employment world. Did all kind of things to you when you're sitting here talking about Africa right now because you don't know where you come from. Just decimated the people and the culture. And you got the nerve where some of them still want to fight reparations. What kind of people is that? And you got your foreigners come over here and look down their nose at you, and they don't even know what you went through. How crazy is that? And black folks have fought in most of the major battles this country had, and they still don't want to give you no respect. And you still kissing up and romanticizing this daggone country. You got white folks coming on YouTube now asking the question of what's wrong with y'all. They asking what's wrong with y'all. And you done did all of that in this country for them. And most of these foreigners haven't given up no lives like we have given up and put this country together. And 60% in the Industrial Revolution of all the inventions was us. And to today, we still doing stuff like the internet and several other things that we're taking advantage of that black folks have contributed to this country. And they don't want to give you nothing. But you're still in love with it. You're still in love because you got an inside toilet and you got this, that, and other. It's got to be some mental illness or something. What Carter G said? Once you control a man's mind, you ain't got to worry about his actions. He'll go through a back door without you telling him to go through a back door. And if a back door ain't there, he'll make a back door. That's the state of mind that we are in as black folks. Crazy. Infected. We need an antidote. I wrote a poem about that. We need an antidote because we infected. Fought, died for this country, and they still deny you everything. Yeah, you built this country off the sweat of your labor. Yeah, you did. And somebody should pay you for that. But they don't show you for 400 years. They ain't trying to give you nothing. They don't care. That's why they burnt your towns down and took and looted and took the land back. When you did have some land in the South, they whistled it out of you. Do some taxes, put some phony liens on it, and this, that, and other. Made it hard for you. Every turn, roadblocks and stumbling blocks has been put in front of you for you not to succeed. We still in love. We still in love. And you got a people that is so mean till they won't budge an inch on doing the right thing. Get yours in the hereafter. Ain't that what your book say? The Bible say? Why somebody whooping your behind right now? You just turn the other cheek, and all you need is some cultural unity. All you need is to, but you got to get this here first. That's where he got you. Ain't getting wrong. Give them bread and circus. You entertain them and feed them. And the masses of the people won't get it. It's never been the masses of the people. Here's wisdom. Look at what the masses of the people are doing and do the opposite. More than likely, you be further ahead. So anything that comes easy to you, that everybody got and doing, you best believe it's not the good stuff. That ain't the good stuff. The good stuff you got to work for. You got to risk your time, your life, and money and everything else to get the good stuff. That's secretly tucked away somewhere. The stuff that you can get easily and free, that's the stuff to keep you in mental shackles, keep you right where you are. It ain't the good stuff. If black folks were smart, they would understand. If a person treated you like that for 400 years, everything that is brought to you should be criticized. You should look at the system like a crackhead. Anybody, he come bringing you anything, you looking at him with an eye like, where you get that from? What's the hidden agenda behind this? But most of us, if the man come on TV and said it's gospel, it's gospel. That's mental illness. That's mental illness. That's trained. You train like an animal. That's how they train the animal, just like that. I did some research on that. You train just like how they train animals. Some call it Stockholm syndrome, Williams syndrome. Lastly, I said I'm not going to try to keep you too long. Lastly, this is a touchy subject right here, a little bit, because it's controversial, because, a lot of money was made, a lot of deaths. Yes, I'm talking about the whole COVID piece. All I'm going to say is this. America lost a lot of lives, more than any other place on the planet with our sophisticated self. In places in Africa, you only probably have, I think it was only 5 or so percent vaccine rate. Lost the fewest amount of people who got the jab. What you think? These places got 1.4 billion people. China, India, and Africa. 1.4 billion people. And these folks was out there and about in the open marketplaces and hobnobbing and rubbing elbows with people, millions and millions of people. But they lost less folks than us, 6 feet apart, masks, all the rest of it. Something to think about. And what's not being talked about, and I'm very critical on the Democrats. You don't hear nothing on TV talking about all the excess deaths that's all around the world. Look up John Campbell, Dr. John Campbell. He talks about it all the time. Gives you the data on the websites. Talk about these excess deaths all over the place. So I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna try to get it all in one session here. Just had to get some things off my chest. Had to deliver this baby, as they say. All right. So I hope somebody got something out of it. And I say, the new frontier is Africa. You ain't got to live there. Just think about doing an investment. Just have a backup plan, just in case. Look up a YouTube video called How Civil Wars Start by Barbara Walter. It's just showing, I'm not necessarily saying a civil war gonna start, but it's telling you the state of where this country is at right now. Look up a YouTube video. Check her out. See, planning. That's important. Just think about an exit strategy if you had to get one or have to use one. New frontier, 1.4 billion people, the youngest population on the planet. Folks, these countries is looking at labor, and you're sitting on one of the richest continent with the richest resources. And you see that this whole triangle type of situation between India, China, Russia, and in the U.S. I mean, in Africa. See, they're gonna leave America out of that equation. That's why if you've been paying attention and listening to some of the leaders that's going over in Africa, you see they talking big time talk against the Western Africa. I mean America. Big time talk because they got other alliances between Russia, China. They don't need America. America could have had the whole continent wrapped up because they didn't want to treat the black man right. It was in their policy to keep the southern hemisphere and equatorial type of countries that have all the food and riches and land. They had to keep them underfoot. That was a policy. That was a goal. Their goal to keep them like that, to keep them in the position that they're in right now. That's why you see the issues. But if you've been paying attention, some of those countries broke away because Burkina Faso was and several other French-speaking countries was France's rental property. Now they backing off of them and kick them out and getting other countries to kick them out or return back to their traditional teachings and history and things like that, and get rid of the old colonial piece that they inundated them with. Some change is coming, bro. You better keep your eyes open. And other than that Super Bowl and all the rest of that garbage, I don't watch it. You do it if you want to. I'm trying to find out what's going on. Trying to see if I can help my people, give some information and some knowledge, and prepare myself. I don't waste my time with that. At least I can't get too engulfed into that. This is a serious time frame right now. So, guys, I'm gonna hold you no longer. If you got something out of it, peace to you. But guess what? I did my part. I tell the Creator I said something because I know some stuff that I said it made some sense to you. So I did my part. I did what I had to do. Because when it's time for me to meet the Maker, I want to be able to tell the Creator I did something. I can just look after myself. All right. So peace until next time, family. Y'all take care of yourself. Hotel. Keep your eyes on the prize and learn who you are and what you're about. Because you're an electrical cosmic being living a humanistic experience. Learn about yourself. Peace.